The Odyssey, Book 7. Odysseus prays in Athene's grove whilst Nausicaa returns to her private apartments, where Medusa lights a fire. This was a slave woman who was a prize for Alcinous. Athene covers Odysseus in a mist of invisibility so that he can't be seen by the Phaeacians. They don't like strangers and can be quite rude, even though they're famous for being loved by the gods. They're actually quite xenophobic because they're so isolationist. Athene then appears to Odysseus, disguised as a young girl. He asks for directions to the palace, and she tells him not to speak to anybody. She advises him to walk straight into the palace and talk to the queen. Athene tells him about the Phaeacians. They're great seafarers and favoured by Poseidon. And then the family backstory. Arete is both Alcinous' niece and wife, so there is incest within this family, and they are descendants of Poseidon and also related to giants. It's quite an exciting backstory. Arete is a wise woman, beloved, very popular, and can even settle men's disputes. At the time, this would have been a very surprising attribute for a woman. So from what we've heard of her from Book 6 and so far in Book 7, Arete seems like this really strong woman, very unusual for her time. So it's kind of giving us an anticipation of when we're going to meet her and what she's actually going to be like. They arrive at the epic palace, which the whole description is full of bronze, silver, gold, and blue enamel. It's very, very glorious. Homer really sort of bigs up the wealth of the Phaeacians. There are 50 maids employed, silver and gold dogs made by Hephaestus, which shows that, again, that the gods are favouring the Phaeacians, and very impressive gardens. There is a large orchard, fruit that never fails, a vineyard that's productive all year, and 2 divine springs. All of this was gifts from the gods. Odysseus arrives to find the captains and counsellors of the Phaeacians pouring libations to Hermes. He is still in his mist, and he goes up to Arete and clasps her knees in supplication as the mist disappears. However, he still says that he is Alcinous' supplicant, despite the advice from Nausicaa and Athene that he should supplicate Arete. So this represents the sort of lingering patriarchy in his mind. Even though he's been given this advice by more than one person, he sort of shows disrespect to the man. They are shocked and silent, so Odysseus sits in the ashes by the hearth until Achenius reminds Alcinous to offer Xenia. This is just a Phaeacian elder he's not really seen again. Alcinous sits Odysseus in the chair of his favourite son, gets a maid to rinse his hands, and gives him food and drink. They pour libations to Zeus, who is the patron of suppliants, and then Alcinous promises to return Odysseus home, no matter how far it is, predominantly because he could be a god. Alcinous says that that he could be a god, but it would be weird for a god to show up in disguise because the Phaeacians are so beloved by the gods. Odysseus assures them that he is mortal and that he has a sad tale, but this must wait until he is eaten because he is very, very hungry. He keeps talking about the importance of a man's stomach. However, he does hint that he is rich and important, saying, "My own estate, my servants, and the high roof of my great house." Arete recognises the clothes that she had made, and asks Odysseus how he got them and who he is. So these are the ones that in Book 6 Nausicaa was washing and gave to him, because obviously he was naked. So this shows that Arete is very perceptive and intelligent because she notices these things, even though the other people haven't noticed. Odysseus says that it would be too much to tell them his whole story, but tells them about Calypso. Essentially what he says is that his men died in a storm, Calypso saved him, he stayed there for 7 years, and then she sent him off with provisions. He was hit by Poseidon's storm, and then he swam to shore. He explains how he met Nausicaa, and hence why he has the clothes, and also flatters her, which in turn flatters Alcinous and Arete. He's very, very clever at this. Alcinous says that it was wrong for Nausicaa not to bring him directly to the palace, but Odysseus explains that he didn't because of fear of Alcinous. We men are naturally suspicious. This establishes solidarity and repartee with Alcinous in a sort of men's club. Again, this is showing Odysseus to be cunning, clever in the way he deals with people. Alcinous wishes Nausicaa could marry somebody like Odysseus, and offers riches, etc., if he were to take her hand in marriage. So he is frequently cited as a good husband material, which increases his kleos and characterises him as the ideal man. Alcinous promises that they will return Odysseus the next day, and Odysseus prays for Alcinous in gratitude. They all go to bed, and notably Alcinous and Arete go to bed together, which was unusual in ancient times and exemplifies their true love, and again the respect for Arete in this city. Okay, that's the end of book 7. Thank you for listening. There is more on the way.